We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Never raise up a white flag. Didn't come this far just to turn back. The curtains fall for the last act. Breaking that levee, breaking that levee. We don't back down. This is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. We're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see. We're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. Legendary.
I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on the battlefield, a survivor never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat of my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. it's explosive.
10 years of speed. 10 years of stories. For the past 10 years, we've been more than just spectators. We've been the heartbeat of local racing, growing alongside the tracks, drivers, and fans who make it all possible. From the dusty turns to the checkered flags, we've shared every triumph and every challenge, making memories that last a lifetime. As we mark this milestone, we're not just looking back, we're revving up for the future. We are expanding, bringing you even more racing, more coverage, and more ways to connect with the adrenaline-fueled world we love. Our commitment to the local racing community is unwavering, and the next chapter promises to be our most exciting yet.
Penultimate race of the On the Throttle podcast bracket challenge. 2 races remain till the playoffs, and we welcome you to short track racing at its finest in the virtual cornfields of the Midwest. It is Iowa Speedway, the 7/8 mile, a track that is a short track that could race like a super speedway, and it is the next round of the Stars and Stripes Racing League. Good evening. Welcome to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV. I am your announcer, color analyst, Wesley Outland. I will be solo tonight as verbatim. Nobody is available. Nobody wants to work with me. I guess nobody loves me anymore. It's okay. I'll do it on my own. Under a minute left to go here in practice, and then we'll set ourselves up for qualifying. So, Charles Wooten behind the scenes. He'll be pushing the buttons, doing the production. He might chime in a time or two. Hopefully, I might be able to get him to talk. But I'm more or less calling this race on my own. But let's take a look real quickly at Hunt the Front TV race information for tonight. Hey, by the way, don't forget, Hunt the Front Racing Series will be in action this evening, tomorrow and Saturday at the All-Tech Raceway in Lake City, Florida. So here we go. Is that right? Fast repair? 100% fuel, obviously, and 1 green, white checker attempt, and I think it's a 200-lap race tonight. It is 200 laps tonight, yes. Okay. Let's take a look at the weather conditions leading up to race night this evening. By the way, I just want to put a little sizzle on it. Tonight, of course, is the hello, where are you? There we are. Tonight actually is the Cyhawk 200. That's the name of the race, the Cyhawk 200 here from Iowa. So, all right, weather conditions. I'm sorry, I was looking at another screen. Bottom right of the monitor. Here's your weather conditions presented by Kaufman Creative. Air temp 77, track temp 79. Wind speed nice and comfortable in the sim at 2 miles an hour, partly cloudy conditions, and now we're ready to go. All right, let's see what the Iowa State Cyclones number 7 Chevrolet, Kyle McCoy, will be able to do tonight. This man has definitely been on a burst of momentum. It has been in his favor. He's been doing very, very well. 4 wins this year for the driver known as Kyle McCoy on the racetrack here now. See what kind of lap he puts down. By the way, I want to say thanks to everybody for joining us again as Kyle McCoy, the Celsius Iowa State Cyclones Chevrolet, will be the first man. 23.517 for Dylan Grimm. That's going to be the guy that they got a bump here. Right now, he set a pretty good time around the racetrack. As I aforementioned, this is the penultimate race of the regular season schedule and in the challenge, and we will take a look at that in just a moment as William Duff is on the racetrack. There's the On the Throttle podcast, the man out of the Queen City in his Ford number 17 Mustang. Charles, can we put up the bracket? Look how Duff is going around. Locks up the tires to avoid from crashing. And he'll have to come back out and try to requalify again. Okay, so here is the, here's the, yeah, but it looks like, okay. So we're down to these 4 drivers in, I believe it's the Ricky Bobby bracket right here, right? So Kyle McCoy, Jason Gratton, Brian Lynch, and Greg Hammond are in the, of course, Ricky Bobby bracket, if you will. Okay? And then we have this other bracket that will find Scott Rickard. Oh, my bad. Hang on a minute. Wait a second. Kyle McCoy, Jason Gratton are in the Cole Trickle bracket. Brian Lynch, Greg Hammond are in the Rowdy Burns bracket. Now we are looking at the bracket that includes the Ricky Bobby bracket, which is including Scott Rickard, Will Buzzler, Ross Tatum, Zach Kreitz. The winner of that top finisher advances. So out of those 4 drivers, the top finisher advances. The same for the Brewster Baker bracket that you're looking on the right. Trey Jackson, Mark Schrader, Mark Fish, Andrew Hess. The top finisher of those 4 advance to the championship. It's kind of like a way to get back in. And it's always Kyle McCoy, Jason Gratton. They'll go head-to-head. Brian Lynch, Greg Hammond, they will go head-to-head. The winner of that pairing automatically goes to the championship. This Ricky Bobby, Brewster Baker is like a consolation bracket, if you will. Whoever is the top finisher will make it in to the Final 4. There you go. You're caught up. Get rid of the screen as qualifying rolls on here. About a minute left to go. And it looks like right now the GWC racing entry of Zach Kreitz has set the fast time. Here comes William Duff in the number 17. He's going to try to come back out here and requalify again. Remember, he spun out. Actually, I think he's just making laps here. I think he's just making laps. You're right. I think he spun and got a chance to requalify again. Now he's just making laps around the racetrack. Joshua Robinson, though, Team Mayada on the speedway, the number 30. Micro Center Chevrolet. We'll see what he can do now. He comes down to the start-finish line. 23.433. There you go. He's going to bump up into the top 10. Going to pull up in front of Kyle Bowling there for that 9th spot. And by the way, Tom Ogle just went to the top of the board. Team Mayada right there with Josh Robinson, Tom Ogle. Fast time, 23.357. 23.357 seconds. So, Josh Robinson, another lap. Time is expired. Qualifying is over. And your Verizon 5G fast qualifier is Tom Ogle in that number 11 Ford. He gets it done. The driver out of Ohio in the White Claw Ogles Auto Sales Chevrolet. Let's go racing in the Cyhawk 200 at Iowa. Front fast qualifier. There he is, Tom Ogle. He's on the pole. In the 11 to the outside, Zach Kreitz to the 46, row number 1. Row 2 will find Dylan Grimm, while Jason Gratton will be on the outside as well, starting 4th. Row 3, Trey Jackson in the 5, Scott Rickard, the points leader in the 0-5. Row 4, Joshua Robinson in the 30, Kyle McCoy looking for win 5 of the year in the 7. Top 10 will find Christopher Smith and Kyle Bowling in the 44. First 5 rows. Row 6 will find Andrew Hess in the 54, Nate Lynch. Of course, Charles says he looks like my ego, I guess. He looks like my other twin in the 25. Ellis Thomas in the 80. Of course, I have shaved by the way. William Thomas, the 4th on the outside of the 17. Row number 8 will find Brian Lynch, Josh Whitaker in the 28. Row 9, Brian Lynch in the 31, Mark Fish alongside in the 13. Row number 10, Tom Lizza in the 51, Mark Schrader in the 10. In the final row, we'll find Greg Hammond as well as Paul Thomas in the number 40. Zachary Smith in the back, 23 driver, ready to go in the Cyhawk 200 here at the Iowa Speedway. 7/8 of a mile, 200 laps. Should be an exciting one here. There you see Cocky and you see Baby Ruth on the front row. Oval with the adorning of the South Carolina Gamecocks color, obviously in homage of the back-to-back NCAA March Madness champion women's basketball team. 2 years in a row. Shades of what also the UConn Huskies did 2 years in a row for the men's Final Four. And there you see a little sports battles there. Look at that. You got the South Carolina Gamecocks on the pole car. You got the Kansas University Jayhawks on the outside pole car of the Baby Ruth of Mr. Zach Price. Well, hello to somebody saying hello to me in the chat box. Fred Franklin. Thank you, Fred Franklin. Craig Franklin. Okay. Thank you, Craig. Craig Franklin. Appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Whoever. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for being a fan. Hope you enjoy the race. 1 lap on the board. Under caution, they're going to come back around with the 1 to go and try to come to green next time by. So we'll get ready to go to racing. Rochelle Polk is going with Kreitz and Gratton, rooting for you guys. All right. Josh is going for, of course, Gratton and Kreitz. Thanks, everybody, chiming in. Hit that subscribe, and if you care, you must share. Take a copy of this link, share it, put it out on social media. Don't forget to use that iRacing and that LSRTV as well. We'll be glad that you certainly did because that promotes our network too. All right, here we go. Are you ready for the Cyhawk 200? Final race to determine the Final Four at Talladega. The penultimate race before the playoffs. And the race continues for the On the Bracket Challenge. Green in the air. And we are underway at Iowa. The South Carolina Gamecocks number 11 Machine Ogle jumps out to the early lead as they work their way in the corner. Grimm to the number 2 spot. Got the Bubba Wallace DoorDash colors of the number 23 to the outside. Comes now Gratton battling along with the 5 of Jackson. They all hold it together here at Iowa, and we have a lap completed. Got 1 in, 199 to go. On board with the number 42 Machine. There you see him in that 4th spot. Ogle quickly got out to the lead. Grimm and Kreitz right there in front of him for 2nd and 3rd. They're going to go door to door. Watch them now. Watch them. 42, Gratton's just trying to get in line here, just kind of find a way. Is he wearing a Mario Brothers helmet? It looks like a Mario Brothers. Mario in Iowa. He's got the suit on. Can we find the full face? Can we do this? Huh? Can we show drivers' faces? If we had the right camera angle. I think Charles is working behind the scenes to see if we can find one. But that is Mario. Dressed up as Grattan. Oh, I love it. Ogle, Kreitz, Grimm, Grattan, Jackson, right now your top 5. Get ready to put a handful of laps into it. You're in the early going of this race. People think I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? No, he's actually wearing a Mario suit. Super Mario Brothers, okay? So somebody out there has got to be Luigi, right? Ogle in the lead of the early going of the 11. Kreitz to 2, Grimm, Grattan, followed by Jackson top 5. You see now the 44 Boland, Smith, Lynch, they all battle alongside. Here comes, of course, in the wall, the 17 of William Duff the 4th. He had problems in qualifying, and it looks like those gremlins are still haunting him here during the opening stretch of the race. All these guys holding their line right now as they work their way back around for another lap in. 200 laps the distance here tonight at the Stars and Stripes Racing League event. The Cyhawk 200 as they work the back straightaway. Everybody is single file now. Thomas Ogle in the lead. Kreitz to 2nd. Grimm 3rd. Followed by, of course, Jackson. Aerial coverage for tonight's race provided by LSRTV, your home for sim racing. We continue to watch Ogle, Kreitz, there's up top side. 25, that's Lynch, battling along with, of course, Duff and Smith. They're going to go door to door now. The 25 and the 81, couple of Chevrolets. While that goes on, the Ford of Duff watches along, trying to get something going here. Right now, he cannot. All of this working as they go. 10 laps into this race right now. 10 completed. Thomas Ogle in that top spot. Smith, he's in 10th. You're back single file with them. Everybody just kind of riding and driving for the moment. Honestly, that's the best thing to do here. Knock these laps off very, very quickly. By the way, sim time if need be. Distance of this hour race can be under 2 hours. 1 hour, 55 minutes. Right now, about 5 minutes into it, and right now, 12 of 200 laps completed. Ogle in the lead. There you see now Jackson and Rickard battle. The Nationwide of the High Rock vodka colors of a couple of Chevrolet Camaros working their way back around the racetrack. That's going on now for 5th and 6th position. The 5 and the 0-5. Scott Rickard in his 4th team start tonight. Of course, he's got 3 wins this year, 11 top 5s and 13 top 10s. He has a, of course, 54-point lead over Kyle McCoy. McCoy looking for his 5th win of the year. He's got 4 wins this season so far. Is sitting in 7th right now in car 7s. There you see Rickard, the points leader, trying to make a run down on Jackson on the racetrack. And obviously now Jackson doing a good job outside the top 15 in the points. He's 16th, and now we got a battle going on here in the top 15. Let's look and see what's happening between the 54 of Hess, Whitaker in the 28, Thomas in the 80, Wizza in the 51. All starting to get a little antsy, battling with one another. Whitaker down to the inside, trying to get a run on Hess in the back straightaway. Smith will go to the top. So will Tom Wizza as well. They watch each other down to the inside. Comes the 24 of Lynch. Into the wall goes the 81 of Smith. Thomas. Oh, yeah, that was announced today. Yep. NASCAR announced today that the CW TV National Network will be broadcasting the final 8 races of the season, the playoffs for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. They had already worked a deal to start broadcasting the races beginning in Daytona of February. They're going to go ahead and launch it a little earlier than planned. The final eight races of this season for the NASCAR Xfinity Series will be on the CW network. And I don't want to hear anybody complaining out there saying that you don't have CW network, because even your mamas and your daddies and your grandmas and your grandpas, if you get a digital antenna or even use Rabbit-Ears, Charles, you'll be able to get CW. It's a national network TV. It's a national TV station.
Yeah, I will bring myself in for that one. Yes, you can pick that channel up, because I used to watch it at my grandmother's house in the middle of Dundee, Texas, population 4, on a TV that was from 20 years ago. So, yes, you can definitely get the channel.
If you remember the black and white TV era, okay, I remember playing PlayStation on a black and white television. Hell, I remember playing Atari on a black and white television when I was a kid growing up. That's how old I am, Jake and Charles. If you can have a black and white TV, you can pick up the CW network. And with that being said, I guess they want us to stop talking about it because the caution is out for the first time of the races. We got problems for Whitaker and the 28 machine. Oh boy, let's see what happened to our buddy William Whitaker here on the racetrack. They put us under the yellow flag. I'm sorry, the William Whitaker. Josh Whitaker. I know, I meant Josh. Sorry. Had William Duff the fourth on the brain. Josh William. Whoa! Here you go, Josh. Into the safer barrier. No harm, no foul. It doesn't look badly damaged. He should be able to roll away under his own power. And I don't think he damaged it that bad either. Maybe a little kiss on the safer barrier. We're under caution, and people are coming down pit road. Believe it or not. Ogle, Kreitz, Grimm, Grattan, Robinson, Bolin. I am surprised all these cars are coming down pit road in the opening 20 laps of this race. 4 tires and fuel, a premium for the entire carnival of virtual warlords that are getting into their spots, hopefully hitting their pit boxes perfectly. You're looking at Josh Robinson, you're looking at Smith, you're looking at Lynch and Bowling. 4 tires and fuel for the most part. By the way, Trey Jackson, Scott Rickard, and Kyle McCoy stayed out as well. Race off pit road. Here comes the Pepsi 44 for Bolin, trying to run him down, but he cannot. There you see Josh Robinson off pit road first. We'll take a break. We're just getting started. This is the Stars and Stripes Racing League and the Cyhawk 200 on the course. This is iRacing on LSRTV. Back with more in just a moment.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
So the caution back out here for the first time of the race after an incident that involved with Josh Whitaker getting up under the safer barrier. Solo spin on his own. Welcome back to our coverage. The lights are off on the pace car. And we will try to get us back a restart here. And with that being said, I would love to know what Cyhawk means. With permission of Charles, I can. Okay, Google. What does Cyhawk mean?
According to Scott Catholic, The skyhawk is so named because it soars higher than others of its species. It is a messenger calling others to reach their highest potential and be closer to God.
Let's go back to green. Oh, that's a skyhawk. Oh, okay, Google. What does skyhawk mean?
According to Scott Catholic, the skyhawk is so named because it soars higher than others of its species. It is a messenger calling others to...
You're fired! Oh, we got problems. McCoy, you're in the grass. Skyhawk. Can somebody tell us what skyhawk means? Like C-Y hawk? Skyhawk? I'm very angry right now, Charlie. Google lets us down again, okay? Don't trust these AI machines. By the way, we're still green. Whoa. No caution again. Wow. What is a skyhawk? There we go. So here's the answer. Do you want to know the answer? I feel like an idiot, too, because of being somebody that broadcasts sports for a living. The Cyhawk is what they call the Iowa Cyclones. The Iowa State Cyclone. So it is the Cyhawk is the rivalry between Iowa Hawkeyes and the Iowa State Cyclones. So that is what the Cyhawk means. There you go. I found the answer though. I found it. Cyhawk. You did. You said it was something to do with it. Yeah. Anyway, we're back to the race. You haven't missed anything. There's been a couple of chances of cautions, but we stayed green. Now we welcome you back to the Cyhawk 200, and again, it is a rivalry college thing between Iowa Hawkeyes and Iowa State Cyclones. So now you know. The more you know. Had the little star come across the screen, right? The more you know. Yes, there it is. Yes. That's it right there. He's one of the culprits of it. The Cyclones and the Cyhawks, right? Not the Cyhawks. The Hawkeyes. Iowa State Hawkeyes, right? 3 wide. Look at this. Cricket in the middle. Monkey in the middle. Hold on to it, buddy. Wizard now going to take a shot after him, going after Hess, Jackson, and company. Lynch on the back straightaway, and here we go again. Wow, what a move by Wizard to go to the outside and try to get up under Hess. Hess says, no way, Jose, I'm going to go to the bottom. Inside of the racetrack they go. So there you go. Now you have it. Isn't that cool, Charles? Isn't that cool? That's cool. Yeah. Let me tell you something. All right, here we go. William Duff, the 4th, up the racetrack. Remember, he had problems during qualifying and practice. All right, now see what he can do here at the number 17 outside in the dirty dozen spot. Right now, the top 12. Under attack now by Jackson. Everything got shuffled up, obviously, with the pit stops as they work their way back into the corner again inside. Here comes now the 80 machine. That's going to be Thomas. Thomas under Jackson. Stays right there on the rear end of the 5. Jackson up under the rear end of the 17 of Duff. And right now they're 11, 12, 13, 14th. Rickard, points leader, way in the back right now. Kind of struggling. Got to wonder if that's a strategy of the race. See how long it works for him, if you will. Back to the line. Inside, plenty of room given. Back to the corner, another lap on the board. On the outside again, here comes that 24. Lynch. Plenty of room. Given to the 5 of Jackson. Here comes now the 10. That's going to be Schrader outside the top 15. They're going to go 3 wide. Schrader got loose there for a minute. Caught the air and it hurt him. They'll try to reset a go here again. Cyhawk 200 here tonight at Iowa. That's the name. By the way, next week, the Butt Kicker 200 at Talladega. We're going to go 75 laps, 200 miles next Thursday night. It will also set us up for the playoffs in 2 weeks. That begins at Miami. Working off the corner. Here they come down to the line. Back out of turn 4. The Gamecocks car out leading by Tom Ogle. Grimm in second. Bowling third. Kreitz. Remember, those are drivers that did not pit in the first go-around here. Drivers like Trey Jackson, Scott Rickard, Kyle McCoy, they did not pit. And right now, they have fallen all the way back to the top 20. Watching all this transpire here. By the way, track temp now at about 80 degrees. Virtual sim time, 75 degrees when we drop the green here, as we're closing in on about a quarter of the way through in about another 10 laps. It's Tom Ogle, the leader, his Ford. Team Miata leads the way. Dylan Grimm for Ricochet Racing in the Toyota 23 in second. There you see Tom Wizza. Tom Wizza on the racetrack right now. Watching what he's doing. Right there in the 10th spot. Behind him, you've got Ellis Thomas. Of course, William Duff the 4th. Zachary Smith trying to sneak into this battle as well. 91, the yellow and black 91 machine back to the line. What a job for Tom Ogle, man. Doing really good right now. Tom Ogle came into this race. Sure I've got my stats right. Tom Ogle is 4th in the points. Climbed up 2 spots in the points last week. And out of 13 races, he's got 7 top 5s, 10 top 10s. Of course, he's 125 points back to the points leader of Rickard. But with that being said, Tom Ogle is really looking good tonight, man. Got that nice looking wrap job on the 11 South Carolina Gamecocks car. Carrying that momentum back into the corner. Ogle, Grimm, Bowling. There's a 23 Grimm. Dylan Grimm, by the way. The DoorDash Dr. Pepper Toyota Supra. And Dylan Grimm right there in that 2nd spot. Got a good run going for him. Also, Sport Clips, the driver from Colorado. Oh, boy. Whoa, look out. 13 in trouble. That Mark Fish, the Dude Wipes Chevrolet from New Jersey. He's going to go a lap down. Somehow they'll hold it together. Man, wow. Yeah, we're watching this best battle on the racetrack, and honestly, it is still outside the top 10. Nate Lynch, Andrew Hess, William Duff the 4th. Ellis Thomas, Zachary Smith finally got around Tom Wizza for 12th. There you see that battle. The orange, the yellow and black, and the blue and black cars up there. They work their way back to the corner. Ogle is the strong man right now. Almost about a half-second lead over Dylan Grimm. Zach Kreitz. Here comes now William Duff, the fourth, down to the inside. He'll battle with Hess in the 54 on the top, and Ellis Thomas right there. Next week, Talladega. The final race to determine who will be the On the Throttle podcast Bracket Challenge champion. Inside, Hess up on the top. Here comes now the 80 up top of Thomas as well. None of these guys jumping out of line just yet, trying to run down Lynch. Can't get there, door to door now as they work their way back into the corner with Duff now with the 80 of Thomas. They're door to door again on 4. The Apex Energy Machine reeling under the 54 of Hess. Another lap on the board here. All this going on, of course, Ogle, Graham, Kreitz, Bowling, Grattan, Robinson, your top 5. We continue to keep watching all these guys work around the racetrack. 52 laps when they come to the line this time by. Ogle is still in the top spot right now, that 11 machine. Kreitz now. And they're going to battle door to door now as the 80 machine, little sideways there for a moment as Thomas, Hess. Whoa! Give him room, Hess. Or Thomas. Hess went up the racetrack there for just a moment. What a save of the 54. And that could have been very interesting. Somehow they save it. Here we go down with the 80 up the hill. That's going to be Thomas. William Duff the fourth also right there under attack now. Here comes the 91 of Smith. Tom Wizza trying to reel him in as well. Single file. Here they come. Back down to the line. And boy, dirt tracks it for a moment. Thomas wheel off the corner. Ogle, Grimm, Kreitz, Bowling, look out, Duff. That's the battle for 12th, 11th right there. Smith, Will and Dylan on the outside. Wiggle in there around the corner. Tom Wizza couldn't get through on the outside just yet as they work their way down the back straightaway. Over 50 laps into it. Can we go side by side? You're not going to miss a thing. We're a quarter of the way through the Cyhawk 200 underway. And this is the On the Throttle Bracket Challenge on iRacing on LSRTV. We are back in just a moment. Again, side by side. You will not miss any of the action.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
At Click It RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Back here at Iowa Speedway, again, you were side by side, so you didn't miss any of the action. Hey, by the way, real quickly, coverage of the Stars and Stripes Racing League is presented by Butt Kicker, the best virtual iRacing, vibrating seat in the world. Next Level Racing. Also, thank you to the On the Throttle podcast, available on all major platforms are available for your pod shows. And the Bracket Challenge, and finally Verizon, the nation's #1 5G network. And fast qualifier of the race was Tom Ogle. He is the man that leads the way right now. 23.709. He is still the fast man as we have now pit stops beginning with some other drivers that did not pit before. In addition to the drivers like Trey Jackson, Scott Rickard, finally Ryan Lynch, and actually now Kyle McCoy on pit road as well. More pit stops as here comes Lynch. As I aforementioned, here comes the cookout entry. The 10-wheeling engineering machine out there on the racetrack. And look at this now with Jackson. Jackson in the 24. Battling alongside Jackson, Rickard, Lynch. There's the points leader, the 05. Back in that High Rock vodka colors. Chevrolet Camaro on the racetrack. And here comes now the 66 up high, Greg Hammond. Jackson up on the top again. Outside the top 15, Brian Lynch, Greg Hammond. Down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now you got, of course, Robinson. Robinson inside. Battles Kyle Bolin. Bolin on the top. Grattan now trying to get in line. Down to the inside. Battles Bolin. Pepsi colors on that number 44 Camaro Chevrolet. Very fast race so far. Hey, let's take a look at the Virginia811.com race summary of the event. Obviously, thank you to them reminding you to call before you dig and dig with care. 1 caution so far over the race, 3 caution laps, 2 lead changes. That's been it. Right now here at Iowa, race summary of the event as we are closing in ever so closer, over 30 laps to the halfway mark of this event. It is the Cyhawk 200 on iRacing on LSRTV. I am Wesley Outland. I am solo. I don't know why. Nobody else is available. Nobody wants to work with me. Lonely. I am so lonely. I got nobody. Charles, I'm just regular talking the song, Lonely. I am so lonely. You've heard that? You've heard of the song, right? I'm Han Solo, exactly. I'm Han Solo. No, I'm Cornholio, not Han Solo. Robinson, right there in that 3rd spot, or actually he's in 4th, trying to get the 3rd. But behind them is Kyle Bowling, followed by Jason Pratt. Got to have a little comedy in our lives, right? But anyhow, Jason off doing eNASCAR Road to Pro, trying to be somebody. Nobody else available. Obviously, just kind of calling it solo. I make a dedication. If I make a commitment, I try to do my best to stick to it. And Stars and Stripes Racing League, I really enjoy these guys. Great series. The Lynches and everybody that's involved in it. They come to the line here about 30 laps to the halfway mark, 130 to go. So far, it's been all Tom Ogle. We saw South Carolina Gamecocks dominate Sunday night in the women's Final Four NCAA championship, and we're seeing Tom Ogle doing the exact same thing in his wrap job still right now, watching the 30 of Robinson on the racetrack as he is right now trying to get into the top 5. Just got around Kyle Bowling and now setting his sights on Dylan Grimm and Zach Kreitz for second and third if he can get up there. Can we go back to the leader? Can we go back to Tom Ogle? The man that's leading the way, showing his car. There he is. Look at that. Any sports buffs out there? Cocky on the 11 machine. So Tom Ogle right now being the top dog here so far. Ogle, Kreitz, Grimm, Robinson, Bowling, top 5. Grattan, followed by Smith, Hess, Lynch, Thomas, top 10. Here in the Cyhawk 200. Penultimate race of the On the Throttle podcast bracket challenge. In addition to that, it is also the regular season penultimate race, and Bodega awaits us next week. Back straight away. There you see it again with Bolin and Grattan right there behind one another. This is for the fifth and sixth spot on the racetrack. This is probably the best. I mean, am I right? Best battle on the racetrack, right? Probably. Best battle happening is what I was told. Not really much of anything going on here. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Rather slim pickings tonight. Hit that share button if you don't mind. Subscribe if you as well for Stars and Stripes Racing League. These are the Xfinity Series cars. As right now we watch the 80 of Thomas up on the outside. Battles with the 91. Zachary Smith. Smith down to the inside. Thomas will follow. Door to door up the hill. And here comes Wow out of nowhere with a burst of speed from the top. William Duff the fourth. Where did the 17 come from? And he's got a big burst of momentum on the outside. Powering back now. Zachary Smith. 17, man, like he just launched like a rocket out of a cannon. Sets his sights now on Ellis Thomas in the 80. Yeah. Definitely was on the throttle for sure. Pardon the pun. Down the back stretch. Another lap on the board. There you see the 10. Mark Schrader, the Willett Engineering entry. And behind him is Scott Rickard. And Scott Rickard, I don't know if it is strategy right now. I don't know if his car is just off tonight. As we see Dylan Grimm come down onto the pit lane, by the way. But whatever it is, Scott Rickard is way in the back than usual. He is all the way in the top 10, back more. A 13th spot, actually. Dylan Grimm on pit road now. This is, by the way, his second time coming in to pit road. Different strategy than others, I guess, right now. As the DoorDash Dr. Pepper number 23 is in. Here comes down Schrader in the 10. He'll come down pit road. Mark Schrader, the FBR Toyota. Getting closer to the halfway mark of the race. Everybody just for the most part being patient. They cross the line again. Put another lap on the board as hold on. Wowzers up into the wall goes Thomas. Apex Energy number 80 into the safer barrier, and Ellis Thomas keeps his Chevrolet in line. Barrier Duff now powering down to the bottom. Makes that run in. The 23 will follow. Dylan Grimm. Grimm 3 wide. They're going to take it 3 wide. Look at this. Dylan. Oh, William Duff. Hold on to it as Dylan Grimm. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Thomas is just bobbing and weaving to keep it off the wall. I think the tires and the handling have gone away on the Chevrolet of the 80 of Mitch Thomas. I mean, his car, Ellis Thomas's car, is just in trouble. Here he goes again, all the way to the top of the wall. Well, that goes on. Dylan Grimm, who just pitted a moment ago, soared by him. On the throttle as well for William Duff. He cleared him as well. In 17. Here comes Bolin and Grant. They're going to battle side by side. And all the while, Smith up on the top of the Apex Energy Chevrolet Camaro. That's the battle going on for 4th, 5th, 6th on the racetrack. 10 laps away. Well, 12 laps away to the halfway mark. Got a little ahead of myself by 2. Anyway, they'll be coming to the cross flags here. Round 14 of the year. It's amazing. I've been right with you guys ever since the season started. I know I did miss one race because of the logistics of travel where I was. Cyhawk 200. And I found out earlier that this is a big rivalry between 2 colleges, Iowa Hawkeyes and the Iowa State Cyclones. That's where the Cyhawk comes from. There you go. It's kind of like the Iron Bowl, like Auburn and Alabama, right? Of course, we don't have like the Eagle Elephant, the EGF 200, right? It wouldn't make no sense. Eagle Elephant 200, or the TIG-F, right? It wouldn't sound right. I said I'm trying to abbreviate the mascots' names like they did for Cyhawk. But it's like, the TIG-F, the tiger and the elephant, TIG-F. A crimson elephant at that, right? A crimson elephant at that. Yeah, see, somebody just said War Eagle. They just messaged me and said War Eagle. Roll Tide. The Iron Bowl 3000. There you go, Iron Bowl 3000. I don't know if I can announce a race that's got 3,000 laps. I don't know. Me and Charles have done some endurance races that seemed like it was 3,000 laps or more. 6 hours of Daytona, the 6 hours of LSR Gaming New Year's Daytona race. New Year's Eve, we did that road course event. I hope they bring it back, but I hope they have more cars. If I know we're talking a long way away, but it really won't be that far away. We'll be celebrating Honky Dory Christmas again, and Feliz Navidad, Happy Hoo-Ha-Ha, and all that good stuff. Be ready to burn down my Christmas tree. Exactly. We have more important things. I'd rather celebrate Halloween. I need to give me some more. I need some more Werther's Original. Yeah, Charles has got a birthday coming. Is it the 25th, ain't it? April? Look at that. You see, if I didn't care about you, you would not have known that I knew what your birthday was. See that, Charles? How? Is it cheating? I'm not looking at Facebook right now. I am not looking at Facebook. I'm calling a race on a monitor, and I'm eating the Werther's Original candy. Yeah. Here comes, by the way, The Cowie Coffee Hamming machine on pit road. It is the 25th, though. Happy birthday. It is coming up. Fast approaching. Yeah, Brody Hanna is celebrating a birthday today from the Wednesday night series, the Full Throttle Sim Racing Series. Been having the privilege to work with them on, well, they asked me to work on Monday night, but I can't. But I do some of the Wednesday races. So, all right. Hess outside, going to go down there with Bowling to follow as that goes on single file. And guess what else is coming up? We're coming up on the halfway mark of the race. Here at the Cy-Hawk 200. Virtual Iowa Speedway. I think we're going to start seeing some more pit stops take place possibly as well. Green flag pit stops, you bet, because we have only had one caution in this race. Doesn't bother me, makes the race fly by faster. Here comes Scott Rickard on pit lane, the High Rock Vodka number 05, the points leader. Totally different strategy than anybody else right now. I mean, he's literally in his own world. He's in the top 20. I gotta wonder if he don't like this track, Charles. He might not like Iowa. I think he might just be trying to survive this race, if you will. Is it? Here in the Iowa cornfields of the Midwest, virtual Midwest, right? Hey, if we did an aerial view of the racetrack as we're under 100 laps to go, would you see cornfields and plains and all that if we had like a aerial view? Okay, let's get away from the track though. Let's pan out a little further. This is as far as we can go with the budget. I got you. Copy that. Wesley says there's no corn. It's all got plowed down for camping. But it's out there. Okay, I'm just telling you. I've been to Iowa Speedway before. It's out there, and this track is out in the middle of the boonies too. The last time I went to Iowa, I did an ARCA race 5-6 years ago, I think it was, and it was the ARCA race of the K&N NASCAR K&N series, and I will tell you, for 3 solid days out of the middle of nowhere, I had no phone service, no signal whatsoever, and it didn't matter if you had Verizon. Love to Verizon, by the way. Thank you. Nation's #1 5G network today. Back then, no. Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile. What is that little green-looking guy? Cricket. All of them. No service, okay? It was no man's land, Charles. You wanted to get away from somebody and have them ignoring you? That's the place to go to right there. Out in the backwoods of Hills Have Eyes, West Virginia, or the cornfields of Midwest Iowa. What was the Texas town you were talking about earlier? When we were talking about the CW network? Would you? Charles, we were talking about the CW network, and we were talking about how you can watch it on rabbit ear televisions and black and white TVs. Dunby, Texas, yes. Wherever the hell that is. It's oh. By the way, we want to invite you to follow us at LSRTV, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook, X, and Instagram. I was talking to somebody the other day. You know what they're calling the new Twitter? Xbox. They're calling it Xbox. I'm like, no, that's a video game. I don't know. We call it Xbox. Okay. Oh, sorry. Forgive me. Console. Listen, you leave me alone, okay? I was playing with Ataris back in the day. You can sit. Oh, Atari. Who remembers the game Pole Position, right? Oh, yes. Josh Robinson, there you see him right now in the top 5. He's in 4th. Got a good solid run going for him. Tom Ogle still the leader with 90 laps to go. Ogle, Kreitz, Smith, Robinson, Hess, your top 5. Grattan, Bolin, Duff the 4th. Ellis Thomas, Nate Lynch, the top 10. And look at that. I give a top 10 rundown and the caution comes out. It never fails, Charles. It never fails. I think it's Paul Thomas in the 40. He's the one that kind of dropped down on the scoring pylon rather quickly than usual. Let's see here. The Motorcraft colors of the number 40 machine. What happened to you? Was it him? Why did they throw a caution? Competition caution, maybe? The race director got bored and hit the button by accident? Here's Hammond. Hammond and Bolin. Maybe something happened here. The Colby Coffee entry. We'll see if something happened to the Chevrolet of that driver. Oh, we're still under green. Anyhow, everybody's coming down to pit road. Money stop possibly for the race for a lot of these drivers. I'm confused. Yeah. Anyhow, the Cyhawk 200 is down to its final 82 laps of the race. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is iRacing on LSRTV, the On the Throttle podcast bracket challenge rolls on.
10 years of speed. 10 years of stories. For the past 10 years, we've been more than just spectators. We've been the heartbeat of local racing, growing alongside the tracks, drivers, and fans who make it all possible. From the dusty turns to the checkered flags, we've shared every triumph and every challenge, making memories that last a lifetime. As we mark this milestone, we're not just looking back, we're revving up for the future. We are expanding, bringing you even more racing, more coverage, and more ways to connect with the adrenaline-fueled world we love. Our commitment to the local racing community is unwavering, and the next chapter promises to be our most exciting yet.
Under 85, over 85 laps to go. Okay, I'm called back up now. I think I said 82 to go, and I was looking at the clock wrong. So, welcome back to iRacing on LSRTV. Leave me alone. Tom Ogle is the man. He's leading the way. Man, what a job for this guy, dude. The number 11 machine just been absolutely strong. Nobody, and I mean nobody's been able to hang with him. Josh Robinson right there, that second spot. Looks like some drivers are going for the wave around, I guess. Is that what they're doing? Yeah, there you go. Speed up. Scott Rickard speeding up, driving past the pace car. That is very unusual for Scott Rickard to be taking a wave around before we go back to the green flag. But he is. That'll put him back on the lead lap, but he is all the way back in 16th. The Bronze Horse Garage, number 05. High Rock block entry. Tom Ogle has done a phenomenal job so far here at the Cornfields of Birchville, Iowa. Driving that number 11 machine, donning the two-time NCAA Women's Final Four champions, the South Carolina Gamecocks. And the Gamecocks are back to green in the Cy-Hawk 200. 85 laps to go now. Three wide in the middle. Oh, I love Baby Ruth. Candy Bar Man, Zach Kreitz was three wide. Then he got back to the inside, going after the machine of Kyle Bowling up on the top. There's a number 80 machine. We saw the problems Thomas had before the caution at the halfway mark. There's McCoy looking for win 5 of the year. Most wins of everybody this year with 4, but he's all the way in the back of the top 5 of the point standings. He's in that second spot. Scott Rickard, Kyle McCoy. Kyle McCoy has a better night than the man here of Scott Rickard. It might allow McCoy to springboard into the number 1 spot for the points, or at least cut the deficit. Scott Rickard just had to take a wave around on the restart. Kyle McCoy has been on the lead lap the entire night. Right now, 7th in car 7. Native of Iowa in the Cy-Hawk Motorsports number 7, the Iowa State Cyclones, as a sponsor for that machine, as well as Celsius Live Fit. Up top, inside. $80 laps to go. So Tom Ogle, Team Mayada, right now 1 and 2, right there with Ogle and Robinson on the racetrack. I was sorry looking at some stats here. Kyle Boland right there behind him in the 44. Chris Smith, quiet race for the man that's third of the points right now. He sits in the top 5 also, along with Jason Gratton as well as Kyle McCoy. We roll on here to the event. Lap number 123 next time around. Here comes Gratton now inside of the racetrack. Battles McCoy. McCoy up on the top, gives him plenty of room. Kreitz will follow. And they'll get back single file. They get back into a conga line up the safer barrier back in the corner. Kyle McCoy now going to try to battle alongside with Boland. Smith going to dive in there. So will Gratton as well. And just as fast as they started to get side by side, started to do-si-do, they quickly go back single file. And then they break back apart and get back to 2 and 3 wide again. All of this is happening with about 75 laps to go. .75 remaining. The leader up in front is still Tom Ogle. There you see him. There's that big gaggle of traffic. Best battle on the racetrack we're watching so far. They get side by side. Then they get back single file. Back into the corner again. McCoy up high. Bowling up high. James Grattan, Chris Smith, all these guys right there in a tow with one another. Here comes now the 46 of Kreitz, trying to stick his nose in the battle. This is behind 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on the racetrack right now. Look at them. Now you got the leaders. You got the top 7 guys now all in a pack. Throw a blanket over them. Kyle Bowling up high. McCoy on the clear. McCoy will clear him to go to 3rd. Team Miata in trouble. Here comes the side number 7. On the quest for 5 wins now this year if he gets it done. The most wins of anybody. There's 3 drivers with multi-time wins. That includes Scott Rickard, the points leader, with 3. Kyle McCoy, obviously, the most of anyone with 4. Will Bussler has 3. In addition to that, single wins, including Joshua Robinson and Ross Tatum, as well as Diego Valle. That's it. 44 drivers have competed this year in the Stars and Stripes Racing League. Tonight, 22 took the green. 23 took the green. And 70 laps to go when they come to the line. There you see it, Ogle battling inside. Robinson, plenty of room for McCoy. Bowling will follow. They're all single file. Falling back, by the way, is the 46 of Kreitz, losing the pack. He's at the back of that one. And here comes the mom entry. Andrew Hess for Spite Racing, trying to run them down and get into the top 10. Close into that pack behind Chris Smith. Andrew Hess, Dylan Grimm. All them in the top 10 along with Ellis Thomas. 2 caution flags so far to stop this race tonight. Only 2. That's it. Ogle Robinson, there you see again. There's Bowling. Bowling up high, plenty of room. Given inside. Here comes Kreitz now. Kreitz is starting to get some power. Isn't it funny that Kreitz and Grattan right there with one another? It seems like the entire race. And we got a lot of people in the chat box that are always rooting on both of those drivers, Grattan and Kreitz. And, well, they're right there with one another on the racetrack. Look at this now, the 23 getting some company. That's, of course, Dylan Graham. Ogle now, about to have company from the 7. Robinson falling back to 3rd. Here comes Kyle McCoy, climbing up to the lead, making a run there, the 11. As McCoy clears by Robinson finally. Some of those college colors adorned on the 11 of Ogle for the South Carolina Gamecocks. On the 7 of McCoy, the Iowa State Cyclones. Obviously, Zach Kreitz has the Baby Ruth colors along with the Kansas City Jayhawks, Kansas University. University of Kansas. Pardon the pun. UK. Backstretch into 3. It's a twister, Liam. It's a twister. Kansas, right? You know, Toto. Yeah, exactly. Closing in on 60 laps to go when they come to the line. Ogle stays to the inside. McCoy up on the outside. He's got something working. He's letting it work on the top shelf. For how long? That's the question. We watch him again go down to the corner. Coverage of iRacing on LSRTV and the Stars and Stripes Racing League on the Throttle Bracket Challenge, presented by Butt Kicker. Thanks to them. Thank you also to Next Level Racing. Also on the Throttle Podcast, available on all major podcast platforms and outlets. And finally, the nation's #1 5G network and pole qualifying sponsor, Verizon. And I'm a proud Verizon partner as well. I'm Verizon. You have Verizon. Charles has Verizon. We all have Verizon. If you don't, you should. Let's see. under 60 laps to go. Thanks to everybody that's joining us. We've bumped up to double the numbers the last time I looked now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. And closing in on almost 8,000 subscribers on iRacing, a YouTube channel, on the YouTube channel. Of course, right inside now, battles with Bolin. There we go now, finally trying to get away from Grattan as they work to the line. Zach Kreitz inside Kyle Bowling. Bowling up top. 55 to go when they come to the line this time side by side. Quiet race, no problems, no hiccups, no harm, no foul. Only 2 cautions in the event. Just past an hour sim time. Let's check in on the weather conditions as we approach the halfway 3/4 mark of the race, and looks presented by Kaufman Creative. Look at this. Air temp 76. Track temp is actually warmed up. It's more warmer than I thought it was going to be at night. 83. As Kreitz and Bolin get now battling door to door. And the KU 46 clears them. Kansas University. Here comes the Jayhawk. Bowling to run him right back down again. He's trying to. Kreitz inside, Bolin up top, Grattan watching on here as they right now go single file. Next week, the regular season all comes down to one more race. Talladega. It will be on the big 2.66-mile gargantuan virtual super speedway in Alabama. Roll Tide. That'll be next Thursday night. And the champion Final Four will also be settled for the On the Throttle Podcast Bracket Challenge. The playoffs will also be set, and that will begin the following week in 2 weeks at Homestead. Butt Kicker 200, Talladega, next Thursday night. It's going to be one you do not want to miss for iRacing on LSRTV. Then we go down to Florida, South Miami, the South Beach 200, south of Soho. 200 miles, 133 laps on the mile and a half at Auto Club, Homestead, Miami. First round of the playoffs. North Wilkesboro will be an all-star gala, including the old school 200. And that will be a throwbacks race, the old school 200 throwback scheme at North Wilkesboro. That'll also be a playoff race. Round number 3 will find the California 220. California Dreamin' at Fontana. That'll be at Auto Club. The penultimate race of the season of the playoffs will be the Valley of the Sun 150 at Phoenix Raceway. Decided at Sin City Shootout for 225 miles on May 23rd before Memorial Day. The Season 8 Championship. And then the Stars and Stripes Indy 500. Hopefully we'll broadcast that one. 500 miles, 200 laps. That's going to be a good one. What a way to cap off the season for the Stars and Stripes Racing League and the Stars and Stripes Indy 500. From the virtual greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana. Down to 45 to go. We'll go side by side for the final commercial break of the race, and when we return, I'll take you to the finish because I'm riding solo. iRacing on LSRTV as Rickard coming down to pit road before anybody else. We'll be back in a moment for the checkered flag.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
At Click It RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back, and we're ready to take you to the finish of tonight's Cy-Hawk 200. Down to the under 40 laps to go. Charles Wooten is in production. I am Wesley Outland. I'm riding solo. Look at this big gaggle of traffic now. Bowling. Graham Grattan inside with Hess. All these cars all there with one another door to door. They close in off the corner. Coming back down to the line. Single file. Give Graham a spot. Grattan will follow. They work their way back up the hill. There's Bowling. Kyle Bowling on the outside. Graham, a little wiggle there for a moment on the driver left of the 44. Now powers back around, going past the 40 of Thomas. There's contact, and Bowling turns into Hess. Bowling in trouble. Hess in the grass. No caution. Still no caution. Bottom of the racing groove where it happened, and no yellow flag for the 54. I wear pink for my mom, for all of the breast cancer people out there. Obviously, October's a big month. And the Hess Toy Trucks, number 54 Chevrolet. Here's a replay. Can we get a replay on the truck? Probably the only exciting thing we've seen in a while. Watch this. This is just where it started. I'm understanding, or they're going to back it up just a little bit here. And this is where it kind of set it up for us going into turn 3. I kind of mentioned keep an eye on the drivers. They were charging hard to the front. And there's the Bonsai Bowling off Thomas. Thomas then, Bowling came down on the 54. And there is the end result. For what just happened. Kind of looking at it again here, and they stuck it. They tried to go 4 wide. Bowling ran out the door, ran on the driver's side of the 40, and then when Bowling came back down, the other car was on the checkup and nowhere to go for Hess. That put us under no caution. You'd have thought that that would have been a yellow flag. Would have bunched everybody up. Ixnay on that. We're going to go 3 wide again. Robinson's brave enough. Instead, he's going to go to the outside lane, trying to hook up with Jackson on the top. Now Kreitz will go to the bottom and hook up with the 5. McCoy now holds up the 30. Closing in on 30 laps to go in the Cyhawk 200. 200 miles, 200 laps. 7/8 of a mile here. Talladega next week. By the way, 200 laps, 171 miles. The distance for the Cyhawk 200 at Iowa. Just want to clarify that. Next week we're at Talladega, 75 laps, 200 miles. Should be a good one of the butt kicker 200. And it will determine the On the Throttle Podcast Bracket Challenge champion. Speaking of that, closing in on 25 laps to go here. Charles, if you could put the full ticker on the bottom, on the bottom from top to bottom, please. I'm looking at the bracket challenge here, trying to see who we've kind of got kicking butt, taking names. Obviously, Kyle McCoy is right now beating Jason Gratton to try to advance to the finals. Brian Lynch is currently in front of the driver of Greg Hammond. Hammond is all the way back in 20th. Lynch in the Brian Lynch is, I believe, right now in 11th on the racetrack. So right now, looks like going to the finals will be Kyle McCoy and Brian Lynch from the Colt Trickle Brownie Burns bracket. The best driver of the 4, including Scott Rickard, Will Bustler, Ross Tatum, and Zach Kreitz. It is Zach Kreitz, the number 10 seed, believe it or not, looking to go to the finals over all 3 of those other drivers. And the same, that's in the Ricky Bobby bracket. In the Brewster Baker bracket, right now, counting Trey Jackson, Mark Schrader, Mark Fish, and Andrew Hess. Right now, Andrew Hess, even though he had an incident just a moment ago spinning, is in 13th. He would be advancing to the Final Four for the championship. So this including, again, right now, if the race ended right now, closing in on under 25 to go as Thomas is in the wall. If the race ended right now, it would be Kyle McCoy, Brian Lynch, your finalists, including also Zach Kreitz and Andrew Hess. Those 4 drivers would right now battle for the championship in the bracket challenge at Talladega next Friday. Or next Thursday. Sorry, next Thursday. So there you have it. Look at this, Kreitz now, McCoy. By the way, we kind of mentioned those guys already in the next round if the race was to end. But the race isn't over. Hence, they have to finish. They got to get to 200. And Kreitz battles along inside with the 7. McCoy, plenty of room getting. Is that Mario? Mario Kreitz? Is that Mario in the car? Trying to remember. Wasn't Mario in that race car? The Mario colors? There's McCoy. I'm so impressed with Tom Ogle, by the way, guys. I just want to throw that out there as well. Look at this man. I mean, cocky 4-11 for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Looking good. Got that maroon colors. Just want to say, make sure you get it right. It's not crimson. That's maroon for those colors for the Gamecocks. There's only one. There's only one crimson tie. What'd you say? Charles knows how I feel about Alabama. Roll Tide, that's all I'm going to say. Without the expletive. Look at Kreitz now pulling up in front of McCoy. Ogle, Kreitz, McCoy, Graham, Smith, top 5 as they work their way across the line. Single file. 2.1 seconds with the man right there. He's in second. Can he run down the leader, Ogle? Behind them, McCoy battles with Grimm for third and fourth. They're side by side. Grimm on the inside. McCoy losing ground. Smith might get him as well. McCoy opening the door for the 23 to the bottom. Here comes also the lap machine of Hammond. There's Smith. 81 top 5. Had a couple of lap machines in front of him on the bottom. McCoy falling back to fourth. He was just in second a moment ago. Free falling on the top side. Next week, Talladega should be an exciting one. Desperate times call for desperate measures for these guys. We'll see what they'll do. when it all comes down to it. When it all goes south. Remember that song by Alabama? When it all goes south? Good song. That's where we'll be, in the South. Next Thursday night. Charles is like, no, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're old. Oh. $12 to go. Ogle is the leader. Can he hold on, though? Because Kreitz is coming after him in a hurry. Can he be there at the end? Yeah, whatever he said. Closing in. 10 to go this time by when they come to the line for the leader, Ogle. And McCoy is up in the fence again. Smith to the inside of McCoy. That's for fourth. McCoy back to fifth. Handling and tires gone on the 7th Camaro. The Cyhawk Motorsports veteran from Iowa in trouble. Just kind of riding it out. 9 to go. As I aforementioned, by Kyle McCoy is going to hold off Grattan to advance to the On the Bracket Challenge, On the Throttle Podcast Bracket Challenge final. Also, Brian Lynch. Right now, Zach Kreitz over Rickard, Buzzler, and Tatum. Buzzler, Tatum ain't even here. And Andrew Hess over Fish, Schrader, and Jackson. And those will be your 4 drivers representing 4 different brackets. One for Brewster Baker, one for Ricky Bobby, Cole Trickle, and Rowdy Burns for the Bracket Challenge final at Talladega next Thursday night of the Butt Kicker 200. 7 to go. And there's the leader. Ogle looking for his 2nd win of the year. No, correction, my apologies. Thomas Ogle looking for his 1st win of the year. Best finish up until tonight was back in February at Richmond Raceway. He finished 2nd. A 3rd place at Michigan in January. A couple of 4th places as well at Darlington and Charlotte. And a couple of top 5s as well at Charlotte and Dover. Dover, Kansas, Watkins Glen last week as well. Tom Ogle looking for his 1st win. Right now in his own world. He's got plenty of distance between him and Kreitz, 2 seconds back, maybe more. Dylan Grimm back in 3rd. Lap machine of Thomas in the way of that 2nd place car trying to run him down. There is, however, traffic ahead. Jackson, Lynch. That's a couple of lap down machines going on as Ogle across the line. Penultimate lap for the penultimate race of the season in the Bracket Challenge. Regular season, might I add. As Ogle works his way here at the 7/8 mile at Iowa into turn number 3 and 4. Here he comes down to the line. The white flag is in the air. The CRN 1 to go. More details at wearecrn.com. This week, baseball, softball, racing this weekend. And for the final time, Thomas Ogle, representing, donning the colors of the two-time NCAA Women Final Four champion, South Carolina Gamecocks, represents him tonight. And he wins the Cy-Hawk 200, first win of the year for the 11. Thomas Ogle, domination from green to checker tonight at Iowa Speedway. Second place, Kreitz. Good solid run for him. Everyone else crossing the line when it's said and done. And it is official now. You can add Kyle McCoy, Brian Lynch, Zach Kreitz, and Andrew Hess to the Final Four to battle for the Bracket Challenge Championship at the Butt Kicker 200 next Thursday night at Talladega. Tom Ogle will celebrate. He is the big winner here tonight. First win of the season. Here's your results as they shoot the virtual pyro off in turn number 3 at the cornfields of Iowa. Thomas Ogle is the winner. Zach Kreitz, there you see the interval all the way back to second. Dylan Grimm third. Christopher Smith, a solid point stay in fourth. Kyle McCoy lost handling, lost tires, fell back to top 5, but the number 2 seed is going all the way to Talladega, representing the Cold Trickle bracket for the Bracket Challenge. Also, by the way, Zach Kreitz as well. Josh Robinson, Jason Gratton, Nate Lynch, William Duff, Ellis Thomas, all on the lead lap, but 20 seconds back of the top 10. Andrew Hess will advance from the Brewster Baker bracket. He is going to the Final Four. Also, Kyle Bowling, 12th. Brian Lynch is going to look like advance as well. He's in the advancement of the battle between him and Greg Hammond. Brian Lynch is 13th on the racetrack, but he is higher in the Rowdy Burns bracket. He'll advance to Talladega in the Final Four. Trey Jackson, Ryan Lynch, Mark Schrader, Zachary Smith, Paul Thomas, Greg Hammond. By the way, Scott Rickard, I was going to mention from the Ricky Bobby bracket, he will advance as well. Sorry, Zach Kreitz, he eliminated him. So all of those drivers, as we mentioned, all in the back of the top 20. Andrew Hess is going to advance from the Brewster Baker bracket. Then you've got Paul Thomas, Greg Hammond, top 20. Rest of the rundown, including Josh Whitaker, Tom Wizza, Mark Fish, did not start. He attempted to run, but he backed out. It would have been him and, for the most part, Mark Schrader and Andrew Hess. But again, Mark Fish did not start the race. So again, Kyle McCoy, Brian Lynch, Zach Kreitz, and Andrew Hess are the Final Four to battle in the Bracket Challenge at Talladega. Here's a look at the race summary one more time at Iowa. 2 cautions, 9 caution laps of 200, 2 lead changes. Virginia811.com, Dig with Care, our sponsor. Take a break. We grab Tom Ogle from Iowa, the winner of the Cy-Hawk 200. This is iRacing on LSRTV. Welcome back to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV, the On the Throttle podcast bracket challenge semifinals here at the Cyhawk 200. And Tom Ogle is the winner, representing the South. Are you a Gamecocks fan, Tom?
No, I just did it to antagonize the Lynches. Brian Lynch, but like they were talking so much about it, I'm like, it's girls basketball. Nobody cares, but apparently everybody in the world cares.
But it came down between Iowa Hawkeyes, the greatest basketball player ever, with in college. Obviously, I don't want to say college because, in my opinion, I think Michael Jordan is the best damn player ever. He's the GOAT. Don't care what anybody thinks.
I'm
they
from
think
Cleveland,
it's LeBron James.
so I think you know what I think.
Don't tell me it's LeBron. You like LeBron James?
Well, see, I liked him, then I hated him when he left. Then he came back and I loved him, and then he left again, so I hate him again.
It's amazing what happens when you change.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? How I thought he was the worst person in the world, and then I loved him.
South Carolina Gamecocks and Iowa Hawkeyes battled it out for the championship, and obviously the undefeated team of all year, the entire year, South Carolina won. So I thought so you did it to piss them off, basically.
Well, if you look at Brian Lynch's car, he photoshopped a picture of me wearing a Caitlin Clark jersey on the side of his car.
How the hell did we miss that, Charles?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know he was going to do that, but then I showed up with this paint to antagonize him, and then he did that to me.
Let's be back on track. You pick up a win. What does it feel like to get a win here and be like the sixth different winner of the season for the program?
It feels good, man. I've had some good runs, but I just haven't had like consistent speed, and I've made some stupid mistakes. I got wrecked about 100 times at Nashville, so it felt good. It felt good to beat Kyle McCoy because he's unbelievable, and it helps that Will isn't here and Ross isn't here a little bit, but Zach and I ran hard like the whole time, but Kyle was there. Scott was here. It feels good. This is a tough league. This is the toughest league I'm in. There's 10 to 15 guys that can run up front every week, so it's tough, but it feels good.
Man, it just, and I want to say this in closing, in segue, thanking your sponsors, Tom. Your car looked like it was just in another class of anybody. I mean, what did you practice? Did you test? Did you do something different than you usually do? I mean, dude,
so I ran an AI race.
Yeah, go ahead.
I ran an AI race to kind of get a feel for traffic, and that helped a ton. But I just was like, I'm going to run the bottom, and if somebody gets me on the top, so be it. But I'm just going to hug the bottom and save. And you got to wait a little bit to get back on the gas, so you save the right front. So I just committed to the bottom. But I figured clean air is king, so I fought a little bit harder than usual to stay out front.
Well, man, congratulations.
Thank you.
7th different winner of the year. As I aforementioned, thank your sponsors.
I want to thank all the guys that put the league on, those guys from Verizon for sponsoring the league. Congratulations to my South Carolina Gamecocks beating Iowa. And thank you guys for broadcasting. And thank like all the guys for racing me clean. Zach ran me hard and clean. Kyle ran me hard and clean. Josh did. Just a good race all around.
There you go. All right. It's a Tom Ogle picking the win.
Thank you.
There you go, the 11. And let's go down to the runner-up of the race. And that is going to be Zach Kreitz. Zach, second place. I'm loving, by the way, the Kansas Jayhawks on the car. But if there is any silver lining to this, man, you're advancing to the Bracket Challenge Championship with McCoy, Lynch, and Hess. And a second place tonight, bud. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I feel like I've had decent speed, definitely not top 3 speed. So to go up there and fall back and be able to battle with some of those guys and pass them clean, it was good. But yeah, I got to represent my Jayhawks though. It's our season. This year wasn't our season, but we're Kansas. We're always going to have next.
I really like this whole rivalry thing with all the sports colors on the cars as well, for sure. So. Man, let's go back to the race, especially at the end, dude. Your car really got strong. If this would have been 225 laps or 250 laps, do you think you would have been able to make a challenge to run down Ogle? Looked like it was getting good at the end.
Maybe. The earlier run when we had the caution come out, I think it was like lap 110 or something like that. I was running him down a little bit, but he had gotten so far out there that my half tenths I was gaining on probably wasn't going to matter. But I don't know. Maybe if we had another start there at the end, I could have got him. But that's just chaos there. We've been 3 wide for 6 rows deep at the end of that race if that would have happened. But no, overall, I'm just happy I advanced in the bracket. Obviously, I got lucky with some of the people not showing up for the race, but to beat Scott is something to be proud of for sure. Just got to get that one more.
On to the next one. You're in the bracket challenge as well to the championship. Do you race differently at Talladega knowing that you're in that for a chance to win that championship, or do you just go out there and, survive Talladega, I guess is a nice way of saying it, to close the regular season?
Well, I feel pretty good in points to make the playoffs, so I think I'm just going to send it. The last 3 seasons I've had to win to get in, and last season I got lucky and everybody wrecked, and I came from the 3rd row back and won it. So I think I'm just going to have fun with it, honestly. It's Talladega, man. You just push it to the limit and see where it takes you. You never know what's going to happen on that last lap.
There you go. All right, buddy. Thank your sponsors.
Well, thank you guys for the broadcast. Thanks, Nate, Derek, and all the admins. Thank my teammates. Unfortunately, Dylan and Christian couldn't be here, but them and then Jason and everybody that was watching. And love league, man. It's tough cooking out here. So whenever you get a top 3 finish, you're pretty stoked about it.
Zach Kreitz will, of course, get himself a 2nd spot here tonight in that number 46 machine. Love those Baby Ruth colors as well. Baby Ruth candy bars. Really, really good candy. And that'll wrap it up here tonight from the Iowa Speedway at the conclusion of the Cyhawk 200. The winner, Tom Ogle. And again, as I aforementioned, the following drivers will battle it out for the bracket challenge, including Kyle McCoy, Brian Lynch, Zach Kreitz, and Andrew Hess. Those 4 drivers will go at it in the bracket challenge presented by On the Throttle Podcast next Friday in the Butt Kicker 200. Sponsors of the Stars and Stripes Racing League, one more time, presented by Butt Kicker. Thank you also to Next Level Racing and On the Throttle Podcast on major podcast platforms and outlets. And finally, Verizon, home of the nation's #1 5G network and our pole qualifying sponsor. One more race regular season. Talladega should be a good one. We look forward to it next Thursday night. For everybody at Rocket Media, for Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, I'm Wesley Outland Solo. Good evening and congrats.